Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts, NYJ Matt. And Matt, today is a monumental day in Jets history. November 4th, 2025. The New York Jets have made two of the biggest blockbuster deals in the history of the franchise. Sauce Gardner, completely blindsided, is traded to the Indianapolis Colts for two first-round picks, one in 2026, one in 2027, and the wide receiver Adonai Mitchell. And then Quinnen Williams is dealt to the Cowboys for their second-round pick this year, the better of the Cowboys and Packers first-round pick in 2027, and the former first-round pick defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. Matt, what a bombshell day. A lot of mixed emotions and just complete craziness in Jets land.
Yep. And if you're here, you might agree with a lot of what we say. You might disagree with it. I'd ask that you listen to the full context around it because I think there's a lot of good that happened today. I think there's a little bit of bad that happened today. And I'll get into how I feel about the Jermaine Johnson no trade, where I'm happy they didn't trade him. But clearly they told him that he wasn't going to be traded. And now all the rumors come out. It's a weird thing to do. Brees Hall working with Kirk Benkert on Twitter to push your trade agenda. Insanity. But holy hell, November 4th, 2025 will set forward the next 4 to 5 years, just like the Jamal Adams trade on July 25th, 2020 did. That trade, whether it was good or bad, you got good players from it, you didn't win games because of it. That trade set up the next 4 to 5 years of the entire Jets 2020 decade. And now we have the back half of it, another huge day. So, Mike, I guess we start with the Sauce Gardner trade.
Yeah.
I'll be up front. I love the Quinnen trade way more than the Sauce Gardner trade.
Same.
Initial reaction, didn't love it. As soon as the trade went through, I knew we were getting 2-1s back. Because anything less of it, I would have been like if it was for like a future 1 to 2 this year, like a Quinnen type trade, I didn't think it would be enough. I do think 2 first-round picks is enough for the caliber of player that Sauce Gardner is. The reason I didn't love the trade is that he plays a position of need. I think he's still at an elite level.
Yep.
And also, he's not a Jamal Adams who begged to be traded. He loved it being a Jet. He got extended 3 months ago.
Jamal Adams calling fans racist, demanding trades, being insane. I want to go to Dallas. Exactly. Sauce opposite.
And the weird thing about the trade is I'm not saying it is like a 0 out of 10. I'm not saying it's a 10 out of 10. It truly is a trade where you get why both sides did it. And the Jets clearly think that they aren't ready for a year or two. They get to send him to a contender who's going to be like Sauce Gardner is going to play a playoff game in 2025. That's pretty cool for him after being an All-Pro twice, being Rookie of the Year. The Jets get the win. The cap is now off the books, man. Like that is a $120 million extension that was going to hit. That's not there anymore. You get 2 first-round picks from a Colts team that I think they're going to hit a wall. I don't think the Colts are going to be in the AFC championship game. So then you end up with 25th pick this year. And if Daniel Jones turns back into a pumpkin, you get a top 15 pick in 2027. I get it. I'm just stunned that they did it. I really am. And I have a million more thoughts on it, but I'll let you go first before I keep going.
No, you're saying all the right stuff. And the optics are just weird because, again, Sauce said all the right things. You sign him to the extension for the same reasons. Like Jermaine Johnson made a great tweet after after both trades went through it. He's like, I'm going to miss my brothers, but I love being here, whatever. First of all, you're already trying to shop him. And it's like, what kind of precedent does it set? And Sauce never complained. Times were never good. You went through 4 years where it was mostly disappointment, especially when the Jets had high expectations. And the guy comes to work every day and says all the right things and wanted to be a Jet. He signed that long-term contract. You finally had a nucleus of guys for a few years where, like we've talked about on this podcast, where in the mid and late 2000s, you had you had a nucleus, a core of players. You had Garrett and Sauce locked up for the next 5 years. Sauce is probably a shoo-in for your Ring of Honor if he played at all at the pace that what he was doing. He's already 2 All-Pros, 3 Pro Bowls, 4 Pro Bowls. So, he's going to get in. So guys like that don't grow on trees. He would be here when you get good. The guy's 24, 25 years old. And then, cap's going to go up. The Jets have so much money in cap space anyway. You're not going to spend that money anytime soon. Even if you get a young quarterback in here, which they're going to do, you have $115 million in cap space. I'd rather have $85 million next year and Sauce Gardner. And by the time the extensions at the end, like the Quinnen Williams contract now, Sauce will be the 15th highest paid corner in football, which 20th highest paid corner in football, which is, what he should be getting paid. So I'm 2 first-round picks are nice. If you hit on everything, Matt, if you hit on all the picks and you draft a young quarterback, it's going to work out. If you don't, it's just we're going to be doing the same thing in 2-3 years, and we're going to have thrown one of the best players in our franchise history away for nothing. You talked about the picks, Matt. I think it's going to matter a ton. If both Colts picks end up being in the late 20s, I don't think it's great. If, like you said, if the Colts end up 11-6 this year and lose in the wild card round, and they are 7-10 next year, it's probably really good. Because again, one of the things that I'm concerned with, Matt, drafting a quarterback. Let's say the Colts. We've talked about this before the show. Colts finished with the 25th pick this year. The Jets have the 4th pick hypothetically. If you package that pick and move up just to take a quarterback where you were going to take a quarterback anyway, obviously if that guy becomes a Hall of Famer, it's a whole nother situation. I just hope they can maximize these assets and you're not just bunching up assets, trade up for a quarterback, a couple picks, and then you just don't have Sauce Gardner. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think a lot of fans, I wouldn't say a lot, maybe I think 65% of Jet fans really appreciated the level of which Sauce Gardner plays at. Even in his down year, he gives up 2 catches for 20 yards. We were huge fans of him. And I think it's fair to say he's not playing at the all-pro level he did in his first 2 years, but he's still a top 10 corner. And when you're a top 10 corner, that's a big deal. Now, if you were to call out who made this move, I think it's more Aaron Glenn than Darren Muji. I think Aaron Glenn has final say of roster construction. He's with Sauce every day at practice. He knows the type of corner that he wants. You bring in a guy like Brownlee, aggressive. Maybe he thinks A.Z. Thomas and Brandon Stevens can hold down the fort for a little bit, and maybe A.Z. Thomas pops off and plays well. None of them are going to replace Sauce. We're not saying that.
No, and Matt, to your point too, 2022 Jets, 3rd ranked pass defense in terms of yards. 2023, 2nd ranked pass defense in terms of yards. 2024, 4th ranked pass defense in terms of yards. And the Jets are 11th this year, even though the defense has been weird these last couple of years. But
yeah, and it's weird because I don't like the trade. I don't hate the trade and what it can pay in dividends. The thing that I thought a lot about, though, is that nucleus that you brought forward, right? You have the Sauce, Garrett, Quinnen, Jermaine's kind of a part of it too, obviously, when healthy. Breece Hall, start going down, and you're like, they've never played a meaningful game in December outside of 1 year. So maybe that nucleus, like we talk about all the time, maybe we overrate them a little bit. I don't think we do, but maybe it's time for a new nucleus, and it all comes down to the quarterback. If they don't pick the right quarterback, none of it matters anyway.
And that's what had happened in the past, plus the weird coaching. So it's like you're playing these games mostly with Zach Wilson, who is a demon, and I hate him.
There's a lot of good that happened today, too. I know we're kind of giving our thoughts initially, right? Sauce Gardner got traded. Nobody thought that was going to happen. These are fresh takes that we're firing off.
It's very sad.
Watching Seattle during the Jamal Adams, like 2020, 2021 years, like the generational hate watch when Russell Wilson went down in 2021, we're like, holy shit, are we actually going to get a top 10 pick? Those games were so meaningful to watch.
Well, you clarified it's not anti-Sauce. It's we want the higher pick, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. I hope the Colts lose every game, and I hope Sauce plays great, right? He's a baller, and he was great here. Even when he left, he was like, I love New York, and it's a business, and I'm going to go play in a playoff game and play good. Good for him. But now that we get a generational hate watch on the Colts every weekend, and the Packers, and the Cowboys, which we'll get into, that's pretty fun. Now, another thing that is not being talked about is what if the Jets don't draft a quarterback in 2026, which is a possibility. And a lot of people are saying, well, the Jets could use these picks and trade for a quarterback on a team. And the only 3 quarterbacks, Mike, and tell me if I'm wrong, that I think you could even consider, and one name is impossible in my opinion. You start with Kyler Murray, who I would not go after. Wouldn't do it. I'd try my chance at a rookie quarterback.
Call of Duty.
Kyler. I'm good.
Short. Calamari.
The next up is CJ Stroud, who is not bought in yet with the Texans, like had a slump. Is he the guy? Probably, but
I wouldn't even have thought of that, but okay.
What if you offer them 3 1s? Like,
I don't know.
Would you want that? Like, I don't know. The other one that I saw Jude Truth tweet out, and now everyone's been tweeting it, is Joe Burrow. Just on what earth would the Bengals do that?
Oh, I would do that.
Oh, I would do that for
5 first
sure.
round picks, yeah.
But it does. I don't think that would happen. So the weird thing is, if you
Aaron Rodgers, bring him back.
A lot of people will say the 2026 draft class is not nearly as good as 2027, and the Jets now have 3 first-round picks in 2027. Awesome. If you like a quarterback at pick 1 through 5 this year, but you know that next year's quarterbacks are better, like you can't roll the dice and wait. It's a very weird predicament the Jets are in right now, and I'm assuming you just have to take a quarterback this year and pray that they're good.
I know, and I was talking about it with one of my coworkers too. I don't know. I was like, wow, I'm pretty sure they're definitely going to take a quarterback this year, but maybe they won't. Interesting quarterback class. Like I was looking at the big board today. They have Mendoza ranked 8th overall as a player, so it's not a bad prospect. Even if you're the 8th guy, is the best quarterback. I think Dante Moore was 9 and Ty Simpson was 13. So you have real options. And again, it just feels like such a crapshoot, these quarterback drafts. Like Justin Herbert goes 6th when Trubisky goes 2nd, whatever that year was. I think 2 was in that draft also. Mahomes goes 10th. Like, I don't know. If you like a guy, I guess take him.
Yeah.
They obviously have some opinions on the guys who are going to come out next year. It's not like they have no idea already what they're thinking about. There's a lot more that needs to happen. They need to finish the season, see the bowl games, combine, and all that stuff. So
it's pretty cool to own 10% of the picks in the first round.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But and again, people say, generational draft. We're going to be happy on draft night. I don't know. I would have been more happy if they would have traded Quinnen and recouped that extra 2027 capital anyway, and you just have Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. But it's our guy. It's sad, and I feel like a lost thing in sports nowadays. I feel like trades have gotten crazier recently in time in all sports. Maybe I'm just being recency biased, but like that's your guy. Sauce is our guy. It just doesn't feel right. I saw him with the grills and the Colts uniform on Twitter. That's so sad. He's given everything. He never complained. He did get paid. So, what is there to complain about? I don't know, but he could have been an asshole. He could have been frustrating. He's just a good dude, and he was our guy. And now he's gone, and he was a great player. And again, he would have went down as an all-time Jet, and now you just don't get that. So you obviously have to hit on these picks, or it's a disaster. And if you hit on it, if you hit everything, it's going to be really fun. But I thought there was an avenue to get to that really fun place without getting rid of one of your 2 franchise players.
Yeah, there's also a history of these guys that go for 2 first-round picks. They don't end up changing that team that they go to. So sometimes it works out in the trading team's favor. But Mike, that trade happens, and the next obvious question that I tweeted out is, all right, when's Quinnen going? Because as Connor reported, there's been a lot of trade requests behind the scenes with Quinnen, which has not been public. Quinnen was unhappy. You're in year 7, and Quinnen had a weird career with the Jets early on. Where like 2019 and 2020 were like waiting for him to pop and be that 3rd overall pick. Then he gets 3 Pro Bowls, an All-Pro, captain of your defense. Very cool. And I still think Quinnen Williams is an elite run protector. Like you look at his stats with PFF, which we only like when it tells us what we want to hear, is Quinnen's like ranked 2nd amongst D tackles in run blocking or run stuffs. But pass blocking, what does he have? 1 sack this year? And even though he gets double teamed, does the dirty work, like you do want him to get more than 1 sack in the first 8 games of the year. But what happens now is Quinnen goes for a second-round pick this year, which is probably going to be a top 15 pick in the second round, so a top 45 overall pick. And then you get a future one, which is a Packers or Cowboys one. And that is, I know that you can't bank on injuries, one real injury away to Jordan Love or Dak Prescott with picking like top 10. It is crazy that Quinnen went for, I think, that much. And for a guy that was probably going to request a trade anyway in the offseason, that money gets freed up now. Like it was a great trade, in my opinion. Once you moved off Sauce, the Quinnen made a ton of sense.
Well, especially again, you said it. Once he requested the trade, then it's like, all right, if you're gonna trade him in the offseason, you're gonna get more value for him now.
Yeah,
obviously. But man, what a great career with the Jets Quinnen had. My dad's friend is a big Cowboys fan. He texted me, he's like, because my dad always complained about Quinnen not getting enough sacks, kind of thing. Which I disagreed. I thought Quinnen was terrific, impactful player for the Jets. But he said he's really a 6 to 7 sack guy who's going to be great in the run game. And our run defense hasn't been that good anyway the last couple of years. So, it is what it is. But like 2022 is kind of the outlier where he's Aaron Donald for that season. 12 sacks, all pro. And then the rest of the time, 6, 5. He had between 6 and 7 sacks the last 5 years on the Jets. So, man, and Quinnen really like all-time great Jet. I tweeted out all-time great Jet. Gonna miss him with a clip or whatever. People are like all-time great Jet. I'm like, all right, tell me the other better nose tackle in the history of the Jets.
It's interesting too because he has been more vocal than a guy like Sauce Gardner too on the struggles. Like Quinnen has tweeted insane things and then deleted them right after. He's like, "Oh, I guess we're rebuilding again." He tweeted like eye emojis and like sad faces when things were happening. Forgot to mention.
Mostly has been pleasant.
I forgot to mention though, when Sauce Gardner, I have push notifications on for Sauce Gardner, and he tweeted out like this emoji, and I'm like, "Oh, are we doing this annoying thing again, or who got traded?" And then he tweeted like, "I'm gonna miss you, New York. I love you guys, whatever." And I quote tweeted, I was like, "Here before he deletes it, like he's just being annoying, doing a fake tweet." And then immediately Rapport, blockbuster trade. And I didn't even see the next part of it. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, he's gone. That was pretty funny. So
crazy.
2 of your top guys in the past decade gone. You recoup 3 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and Mozzie Smith, we didn't bring up from the Cowboys.
No, we said in the beginning, a former first-round pick.
And then A.D. Mitchell, Mike, was a guy that, like, the Jets were talking about how, like, they had Corley rated higher than all these people. Like, A.D. Mitchell, second-round pick, was a good prospect coming out of Texas. Shot in the dark. You think him and John Mechie can compete to be a part of this team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't trade. So once you trade Sauce and Quinnen, it's like, wow, who's next? I'm glad they didn't trade Jermaine Johnson for anything. Brees and Quincy Williams, it doesn't make sense to flip them randomly for mid-round picks, just for the sake of making these trades. Like Brees, you could easily franchise tag him and have him here next year. Especially if you want to run the ball. If you're going to have a young quarterback next year, you want to surround them with as many weapons as possible. They just did nothing on their offense. So you have your whole offensive line. You have Garrett. You have Brees still. Quincy Williams, the argument too is, all right, you paid Jamie and Sherwood. You can't pay Quincy Williams. I never understood that, especially the Jets have a ton of cap space without all this happening, where you can't pay 2 linebackers that are starting players, but you can only have 1 starting linebacker on your team. I don't understand. And it's not like they paid Jamie Short $40 million a year, $15 million. They're similar players. I get it, but you need multiple starting linebackers. So
people would want to come to the Jets. So like, Quincy Williams is a Jet. He likes being here. He just traded his brother away, so maybe he doesn't want to be here anymore.
Maybe he's but Quinnen wanted to leave, so it's on him.
But you also like, I get the take of like, you want to invest $15 million maybe in a different position. But honestly, I look at Kiko Muaga and Tyler Barron and Arsenio Ball, who ended up I think he got hurt, right? You have all these random linebackers, and when Quincy's out there, he's flying around decapitating people. Like in the modern day NFL, I'd love for Quincy Williams to be on my football team every Sunday. Yep. And he's a plus player. He's shown he can be. So I'm fine with keeping Quincy. I thought he would have been traded because they just traded his brother and he's an expiring contract.
Well, the expiring contract, I'd rather take the next whatever 4 or 5 months and have more chances to negotiate and risk the 4th round pick that you would have got in return.
I don't think they even would have gotten the 4th from. Like I think they probably would have traded Quincy for like a 5th or.
It's not worth it.
I think that's fair. The Jermaine thing bothers me a lot because, like, based on what Jermaine said, is that the Jets told him they weren't trading him, and like if that's true, you can't say that. What you can say is, Jermaine, we love you. We don't want to trade you. If we get offered a crazy deal, of course we'll look at it. But you're a Jet. Like you can't tell him you're not going to trade him, and then all these rumors come out that you might take him for a 2 and all this stuff. So Jermaine handled it pretty well after for the fact when he sent out that tweet.
That was a great tweet, but that's what I'm saying. Like Sauce, you literally just went through a negotiation with him this offseason. You said you're our face of our franchise for the next 5 years, and he's been similarly great off the field like Jermaine. And then you trade him. So then if you're Jermaine, and you're thinking about that, it's the same situation. The Jets, wow, like you're going to trade this guy also. Like some guys have
Can
different.
I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Boswell misses a kick week 1. Buccaneers don't go down and score a touchdown. And the Jets are 3-4. Is the Sauce trade happening?
Probably not. Depends. And if you had a different quarterback this year, like I tweeted out before, everything changed. The fucking Aaron Rodgers injury. 2 years, it all goes back to that. 2023 week 1. Like God knows what happens, You're a playoff team maybe the last couple of years.
The Breece Hall, I mean,
I didn't even see it. You told me about it.
He's been the most vocal outside of everybody but Elijah Moore in the past 5 years on social media. And when lights were public, he'd have a bad running day. He'd like tweets the offensive line isn't good. He'd have a great running day. He'd like tweets about how good they are. Like very active on social media. And for the public stuff, not great as a teammate, in my opinion. I mean, at 2:30, he sees 2 of the Jets' best players go. Immediate thought is get me out of here, put me on a contender. All right, fine. Kurt Benkert tweets out that the Jets aren't trading Breece Hall per sources. Kirk Benkert has 0.0 sources. And what happened was 30 minutes goes by and Kurt tweets out Breece Hall's ready for a new start. He wants a trade. So obviously something happened in having a fake source 1 minute and then having a fact the next minute he wants to be traded. People called him out like, you don't have any sources. What are you talking about? And he tweets out a picture of him DMing with Breece Hall. And then deletes that tweet. So Breece Hall, it really much appears that he DM'd Kirk Benkert and was like, hey, I do want to get traded. And like leveraged him to put that in the Twitter sphere. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like that can't happen. And it actually like changes the way I perceive him. Where, yeah, I want him here, tag him, young quarterback, you have a good running back, I get it. But also, I'm sorry, Mike, if Breece Hall gets 20 carries a game and gets a touchdown, has 100 yards, I think he'll be fine because he's shown in the past that if he's playing good and he's happy, like, I don't even think.
Well, that's my problem. That's my problem. He's a selfish guy, and you keep him around, whatever, and then you're trading your guys who are not selfish. You're fucking with Jermaine Johnson, who's only said the right things, saying you're not going to trade him, then trying to trade him for a second-round pick, and you trade Sauce, who only says the right thing. So it sets a bad precedent. If you're Garrett Wilson, what are you thinking? Obviously, it's a business, but if we're going to get on Breece for being a selfish prick, which he's being, then we have to get on the Jets also for not valuing not selfish pricks.
And I will take that back if there is proof that Kirk Benkert deleted or like Photoshopped, whatever. But as the information is provided, I am not thrilled with how that went down. And I think when it comes to social media, Breece has been very vocal and active and sometimes hasn't been the best when it comes to referring to his team. And geez, like
Jeff fan calls him he tweets like a wide receiver 1, which is very funny.
I haven't seen any, but I got to get him back on my algorithm. I feel like I haven't seen any Buffalo Jet fan tweets today. It's funny. I like one tweet and then that same guy has like the same take over and over again on my For You page. But November 4th, Mike, it is a transformational day. The Jets now have 5 first-round picks over 2 years, including 10% of the picks in the first round in 2027, which is a top-tier draft. You got to hope that this rookie class they took in 2025, you have to hope that 4 of these guys hit and are like starting players for your team. You need to hope that you hit on the next 2 drafts and, of course, get the quarterback. But it all comes down to the cap space that people talk about. Who wants to come play for the New York Jets and pay a insane state income tax and play for a team that's always rebuilding with an impulsive owner? Like, I don't love and care about the cap space. I care about drafting good guys and keeping them here. Unfortunately, one of those guys walked out the door today, and another guy who didn't want to be here walked out. And hey, thanks for your time here. Have a good one. So it's a very weird day, and holy shit, they play a football game in what, 5 days?
Yeah, man. It's supposed to rain again. But I'm just sad about Sauce. That was our guy, man. He's our guy. Now he's gone.
I'm telling you, I wish he would have requested a trade. It'd make it so much easier and palatable. And I would be like, no, don't do it. But he's being an asshole. It's just very tough when he's like, I got a call from my brother, who's my agent, and said, "You're being traded." That's crazy. Yeah. That is crazy, and no rumors beforehand. I'm hoping Darren Muji talks to the media, because they always talk to the media mid-year, and it's kind of worked right around the trade deadline. But Mike, I think Aaron Glenn calls all the shots.
Yeah, listen, you want it. There's one you want to get your guys. If you're a new coach GM, I get it, and we'll have to see what they do. If they hit on everything, it's gonna work out. But if they don't, here we go, Matt. This is another. We are fully in another 3-year rebuild, and it's just been a lot of years. And at least and the guys the bright spots that we loved, you said it. One of them is gone after today, and it sucks. It hurts. But you got a lot. At least if you're going to make these kind of moves, you want to get good value. It seems like, looking around the league, like I was talking with one of my buddies, just going through all the other NFL stuff and the reaction from other fans and pundits. Most people thought the Jets got some good value for these guys.
Yeah, Mike, it doesn't feel ever right for this team, because I look across the NFL right now, Mike, and let me just bring up the NFL standings for a second, because a lot of teams I thought would suck are good, and it just can never be our team. Like, I know Mike Vrabel's good. I know I want him to be the head coach. Did I think the Patriots would be 7-2? No. Did I think the Colts would be 7-2? No. The Jaguars 5-3. The Broncos 7-2. Oh, go to the NFC. Oh, out of nowhere, the Bears are 5-3. The Vikings are 500 with JJ McCarthy. The Panthers are 5-4. The Falcons are 3-5. Like, how the Falcons have 3 wins and we have 1? Like, the whole looking at the NFL, these teams like Seahawks were rebuilding a couple of years ago, back. Buccaneers rebuilding after Brady, back. These teams just come back. Like, why can't we come back? The answer is the fat Joe Douglas took Zach Wilson. And that's what happened. All the picks hit. Everything worked out well.
But then he made the right move, and you got Rodgers, and then he tore his Achilles. But yeah, Joe Douglas can go fuck himself for getting rid of Sam.
Moody's talking to the media now.
What did he say? Crazy. Live.
We had these offers that we felt were good for the team. When it came down to it, Indianapolis getting richer and richer in their value.
All
right. Do we watch this live, or?
I mean, is he going to say anything that we don't know?
This is not a teardown. Focus on winning this season. They had values on players and trading them.
Yeah.
When the values were met. Would not say if Quinnen requested a trade. So if you say, I'm going to trade a player when their values are met, is every player ever can be traded? And I saw a funny tweet. Well, what if the Chiefs offered the Browns, the Chiefs' entire roster, but they get the next first-round pick and second-round pick for the Browns for 45 straight years? Like, would they just do it? Not a teardown. Brees is a talented player. He's going to help us compete and win the rest of the season. Wow. A.D. Mitchell is big, fast, talented. John Mechie, athletic guy. Mozzie Smith, big, talented, physical.
He's just saying random shit.
It's like random word generator.
He's just saying random shit. I mean, the thing about winning the rest of the year, you have to say, because that was Aaron Glenn's whole thing before the season. So you can't. I guess what else would you say? I don't know. Most people are happy, Matt. Most people are happy. The Sauce discourse is interesting. What
The
else is
Sauce
news you say?
became better once Quinnen got traded, I think, weirdly enough. And
It did.
I'm not like, if the Jets got back a second round pick for Sauce, it's bedlam right now. And when you get back 2-1s for anybody, not a franchise quarterback, you have to acknowledge, okay, we got a lot. And I honestly, I don't think the Colts are the Bills. I think the Colts are I think the Colts are going to go 10-7. I think they're going to go 3-5 down the stretch. I think they're going to get knocked off early in the playoffs. I think they're going to suck next year, and we're going to pick high. That's what I hope. And I hope
That'd be great.
maybe the Cowboys or Packers fall off a cliff and we get 3 picks in the top 10. Actually, our pick next year will be late because whoever we draft this year will be great.
They better be good. If the Colts go 12-5 or 13-4 and squeak out a win in the divisional round after getting a bye, and you're in the AFC Championship game, it's a late pick. But I hope that doesn't happen.
Well,
what else is he saying?
Same old. I think we're good, Mike. I'm sure we'll be back because knowing the Jets, a crazy thing will happen next 2 days, which will circle
That was
back.
a crazy day, Matt. We came into today, we thought maybe they would trade Brees and Quincy, and then
We thought Quinnen would be traded, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well,
man,
holy hell. It's a pleasure, buddy. I'll
6
talk to
hours,
you soon.
Yeah, 6 hours ago we had Quinnen and Sauce.
Well,
there it is.
If you made it this far, you deserve a fucking medal. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
All right, homie.